I have with me today Joshua Mathew Black. If you don't know who Joshua is, he's one of the January 6th, 2021 protesters that entered the Capitol and was charged in relation to his actions that day. He was also shot unjustly by a Capitol police officer, which we will go into that story. Regardless of your opinion of what happened on January 6th, I'm not here to talk about what happened that day, the politics behind it, and stuff like that. I just want to hear about Joshua's perspective, how he ended up at the Capitol that day, and what happened to him after the fact of being at the Capitol. So with that, let me introduce Joshua Mathew Black.
Hey, Tyler, thanks for having me. Looking forward to a good conversation. I was mad, because it made total sense because I went on the 8th and they said no charges. I was so happy. I was like,
So,
okay.
While you're, in custody, they can clearly see you have a hole in your face. They just ignored it?
Yes.
And
yes.
Do you have any idea why they shot you?
They were trying to start a riot or in history.
You think
It's
so?
like, look at what Zuckerberg said. And I don't know if he was, I'm not going to really comment on that because I don't know for sure, but in my gut, I think that he's serious. I think he got played and he realized it and he thought, wow, I'm an American, but I've been working for the enemy of America. And I think he's telling the truth. I really do. And she had a megaphone saying, after the speech, we're storming the Capitol. And it was like my spirit just lit on fire. And I was like, well, that's like, that was odd. But it's over by Irwin High School. It's Roller Coaster Road, but there's a road on the side of it that's a roller coaster. And all I remember is shifting into 4th. And then I woke up in the hospital like 2 or 3 days later because I take insulin shots and I'd taken too much. Right out, and I was like, oh, thank God for the potheads.
Right.
Like, but he pulled it out. Like I saw this one guy, he's wearing a blue sweatshirt with a red shirt underneath it. And he would go up to the cops and he had his hands like this. And he was like fake fighting them. He was like, sweatshirt dude, and grabbed me by the arm like violently and dragged me. He's like, they shot him in the effing face. They shot him in the effing face. And I'm over there like, what's like, I'm like, wait a minute, this guy's instigating the crowd. So I yanked my hand away. I said, whoa, man. Like, nah, dude, like, just chill out, Got over there. And I just looked at the guy and I'm all nasty, like bloody dreadlocks. And like, and I looked at him like, try me, buddy. I didn't say anything, but I gave him that look like, I dare you, and he just kind of like, he looked around like, where's my people at? He looked around like this and then he just kind of slumped his shoulders down and just walked away. And he didn't so here. I turned around to like right here. And then there was like an alcove, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
It's like a funnel and everything was getting pressed in there. And these cops were like, it was like 2 cops that hadn't been pepper sprayed against 10,000 people, 5,000 people, whatever it was. And everybody was from the bottom of the stairs. Everybody or probably halfway up the stairs. Everybody's pushing and it's all going into that thing. And somehow I wound up in there on top of a cop. And then they opened the door and it opened out. That's what I was trying to tell people. Like, hey, quit pushing. The door opens out. I don't care if you got a bazooka. You're not getting in that door.
Yeah.
Then when his backup showed up, it was a bunch of big, huge, like, you don't want to mess with these guys kind of cops,
Yeah.
And they all walked in with all the plastic riot gear and stuff. And they lined up like on one side of the walkway to get out the door. And I was like, all right, y'all, it's time to go. And everybody was like, all right, well, I guess it's over. Let's get out of here. Posted on Twitter. She was like, somebody said that, oh, you didn't really get shot. And she's like, oh, I can vouch for him. She's like, it looks a lot better now because you can't see his teeth through the side of his face or something like that.
Right.
Well, I was going to say that in hindsight, it's kind of a good thing that they stole the election a couple years
because a culture war episode with you and Ian would be fantastic. I'd watch that.
It was 3 felonies for the knife and then 2 misdemeanors. It was basically trespass and disorderly conduct. I don't remember exactly what it was. 2 misdemeanors. I got a month each for that. And I got 20 months each for the felonies, but they ran them concurrently. So I only had, instead of doing 62, I did 22. So that's just how they do it.
So they release you without it, like any cash or anything. And then they're holding your cash and they're like, just come back tomorrow for it.
Yes.
That doesn't make any sense. That's ridiculous.
That. And he was like, and he peels off 2 $5 bills and goes, here, now get the F out of here. So I call that the good wino story because the 2 preachers didn't want to help me, but the wino like hooked me up, gave me food right away. Like that was God,
Keep you essentially solitary, even though it was a medical ward. But you had limited contact with other people. And then eventually when you finally do get out, they release you onto the streets 7 o'clock at night. no money, cold out, didn't give you a blanket, doesn't give you a jacket, gives you some insulin. They're like, all right, good luck, figure it out. That's insane. That's a terrible story.
So she went there and got me. I said, "Get me some scissors." And so as soon as I said, "Just hand me the scissors," I finally cut it off. Like now I can, I feel normal again.
Right. I really enjoyed our conversation. The last question I wanted to ask is, what do you personally feel is the most important issue facing America today?
Oh man,
for
I wish you'd have
how do you feel about the pardons? Do you think there should just be a blanket pardon, everyone gets pardoned, or do you think he should not? Like, is there some people that just shouldn't be pardoned, or do you think everyone should be?
Well, I'm kind of conflicted on that because I want to know.
So much for watching. Subscribe to the channel. I hope to be doing more interviews like this. I will likely have Joshua on again to talk about whatever we decide to talk about next. It was really great to have Joshua on today, and thank you guys for tuning in. With that, I'll let Josh shout out what he wants to shout out, and Josh, I will link everything in the description below, whatever you want me to share.
Yeah, follow me on Twitter at Preacher O Christ. And that's pretty much my only social media. I've got a YouTube channel. It's Let Us Talk. I think it's 8796. I have 0 videos on there, so I'm eventually maybe going to post something on there, but there's nothing on there yet. So, but I'm pretty active on Twitter right now, trying to get the word out, trying to tell jokes, trying to be funny, politics, humor, and Jesus. That's pretty much all I talk about. So it's Preacher O Christ on X.
Well, I'll make sure to link that in the description down below. Please go check out his X account for any updates that Joshua posts. Is there any way for anyone to support you if they want to, help out in any way?
Yeah, I've got a Give, Send, Go. I haven't looked at it in a while, but it's Give, Send, Go / Joshua Black. I did pretty well when I was on the Cowboy Logic show, and but most of that money's gone. So.
Well, I'm not sure how much traction you'll get from here, but I will definitely be sure to link that in the description down below if we can.
But I gave away a lot of it, so I'm not selfish.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Josh. I hope to have you on again.
Yeah, man, I really enjoyed it. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you.